I just completed my 5th 100% cash out refinance using the BRRRR strategy. If you're new to the channel here, we talk about BRRRR real estate investing, which is buy it right, rent it out, rehab it, fix up the property to force value, force appreciation. That's what we'll talk about, what we did on this deal here, and then be able to refinance it. And when you're able to refinance it and you do the deal right, like we've done 5 times now, you're able to get all of your capital out. So the money you put down to buy that property, you're able to refinance that out and still keep the property, still keep the cash flow, still keep the tax benefits, still keep the wealth building power of real estate with no money in the deal, which produces an infinite return. And then the final part of that is you can then take that money and repeat the process and do it again. So I'm fresh off of 5th refinance, feeling really good. I wanted to share with you guys what to look for. I get a lot of questions. We get a lot of interest. My wife's real estate brokerage, we get a lot of clients who want to do this. So I've done BRRRR strategy, like case study videos that you can go check out on the channel, but let's just have a conversation about it. And what about this deal? This was 16 units here in St. Clair Shores, Michigan. I bought it April 2023 for $1.34 million. It just appraised. It is November 2024. It just appraised for $1.85 million, and we were able to refinance and get all of our money out that we put down to buy the property. When you have no money in a deal, that produces an infinite return. That's like the ideal situation. I can't tell you guys how ideal that is and how that's what I want you to look for. That's what I want you to strive for. Because it's like, think about if I just gave you these 16 units for free. What's your return on investment? If you have no money in the deal, I just gave you the deal for free. Your return on investment is infinite. You have no money invested. Even if you make $1, it's an infinite return, right? So I can't give you a property for free, but I can teach you what to do and how to look for this. So number 1, buy it right, okay? I've shared this before on the channel. I always feel like I overpay. I definitely, on this 16 units, I felt like I overpaid a little bit. It was $84,000 a door. A year later, it appraises for $115,000, right? So it's kind of crazy, but you're looking for a seller who wants to sell, number 1, but number 2, there is value to create, okay? This seller particularly, I actually bought my 12 unit from them as well, so I've got a full video on that. You can check out on the channel, but they were out of state, okay? They were relying on third-party management, okay? So when you notice an out-of-state seller, you're probably understanding that they're not keeping their hands on the property. They're not keeping their pulse on the market, right? They're out of state. He owned a totally different business. Third-party property management. You should get excited by that because we push you guys to manage your own deals because that's where the money is made. You've heard me say it. You've seen the videos. Money is made in the operations. Always remember that. If you can self-manage, self-manage. Because when you use third-party management companies, I'm not talking smack against them, but the expenses are going to be higher. So we saw, wow, out-of-state owner. Wow, outdated units, has not touched units here. He owned it for like 10 years, has not touched units. Wow, third-party management. So we immediately say, buy it right. We know we can increase the income, we can update the units, we take the cash flow from our deals, we put the money back into the deals to upgrade units, fix problems, and the expenses are gonna be high. And that was exactly what ended up happening. We were able to fix up units, do light upgrades to units, a couple $1,000s per unit. They're not big, they're all 1 bedrooms, right? So we're not talking massive, crazy, multi-hundreds of thousands of dollars of expenses here. We're talking a couple $1,000s per unit. We have in-house maintenance. Now, as we have grown our team and grown our portfolio and grown our management company, we have in-house maintenance people so they can save us so much money because I'm not relying on contractors. I'm not relying on third-party management companies to do things, right? So if you can do that or if you can do work yourself, that is huge. That is huge. All that allows you to increase the income, and that's where the money is made, right? So that's buy it right. You make your money on the buy, and you have to know the exit strategy when you're looking at a deal. So if you're looking at a deal, like if you're gonna go buy one of my deals, because I'm gonna sell my small stuff next year, do a massive 1031 exchange, not a whole lot of value to add because I've really squeezed that. I've juiced that lemon, I guess, is that the expression? I've squeezed the juice from the lemon there. It's gonna be a stabilized deal that you can set your money in and forget it. Some people like to do that, but if you're doing BRRRR strategy, you gotta buy it right. There's gotta be some way to force value. And forcing value doesn't just mean construction. It doesn't just mean throwing granite in. It doesn't just mean redoing kitchens. There's management value, and then there's construction value. There's rehab. That's why when I say like rehab, oftentimes we come in and we just streamline the efficiencies. My 100-unit apartment is a perfect example of this. Go watch those videos. That is a completely upgraded product. Completely upgraded. There is no work to be done there. There's no CapEx. They redid the roofs. They redid every single unit. So how's that a BRRRR strategy deal? Because the management was all sorts of messed up. There were so many inefficiencies of the management. So we know that property is producing hundreds of thousands of dollars in it's missing hundreds of thousands of dollars in potential NOI. We're gonna come force value by running the business better. So there's those types of options, but mainly when you're looking for a BRRRR deal, you're looking for, has this property been touched? Is there ways I can improve units? Can I upgrade units? Are there deferred maintenance things that I can fix and that's why they're getting lower rents? Is this an out-of-state owner? Is this an absentee owner? Is this just an old school owner? My 56 unit didn't really have deferred maintenance, but they owned it for 30 years. 30 years. So they owned it in cash. They didn't have any debt on it. They didn't need to keep up with the market rents. They didn't need to upgrade units. They didn't need to do any of that. It did need full roofs, which we were able to do, eight roofs on 8 different buildings there, but be creative. Look, don't just, I see a lot of you guys get tripped up because you're like, I just have to upgrade units. It's part of it, but management is everything. I mean, you can have, again, look at my 100 unit. They had beautiful units, but it wasn't being ran properly. Thus, it wasn't worth what we know it can be worth. So you're looking for that. Buy it right, rent it up, rehab it. And renting it up, who's doing the leasing? Who's getting the market rent? You have to know how to do it. Now, I'm fortunate. I'm married to an amazing lady, an amazing gal, my wife, Andrea. She's a real estate agent. She's a real estate broker. She owns a brokerage. So I just go to her. I look at a deal and I say, okay, I think I know what the market rents will be, but she kind of gives it that final seal of approval. So where are you getting your market rents from? Do you have a real estate agent? That's why so many people hire us at Stephan Group and hire my wife and her team because they're like, hey, these folks own 259 units. They know how to judge a market. They know how to really assess what a market rent will be. This is where I see a lot of people get in trouble. They look at maybe the broker's pro forma or what the seller will tell them. Well, because I hear this all the time. We're looking at a deal right now and the seller said, my rents are here. It can rent for here. I say, okay, go get those rents then. Or why aren't you getting those rents, right? Well, if you're not getting those rents, then we can't say that's market rent. It's a negotiation tactic because they're going to want to sell you the property as if it was renting for here. But you have to do all that work, right? You have to go market it. You have to go lease it. You have to go upgrade the units to get to that point. So you can't pay them for what it could be renting at. You got to look at where it's renting at today. But you have to be able to know where the rents can be, where the NOI can be, right? Where the income can be. So you have to have a trusted real estate professional. If you're looking to invest here in Michigan, you're looking for help with this, reach out to us at Stephan Group. There's probably a link in this description somewhere. Fill out the short form. Dude, we'd love to help you. Then the refinance. And this is where, full transparency, I went a little wrong with this property. I could have put more money in my pocket. I've shared this with you guys before. Your lender is your partner on the deal, right? Your lender is the partner on the deal. And it's like a marriage. Make sure you know who you're getting into bed with, right? Would you marry somebody after one date? Maybe. I've been with my wife, golly, I met her when I was 20. I'm 34, so I've been with her 14 years. I feel like I know her pretty well. Right? I think she knows me pretty well. Now that's an extreme example, but I just went with a lender here in Michigan, a bank, and I didn't understand qualifying banks and lenders like I do now. So I had to pay a massive 4%, full transparency, 4% prepayment penalty. It was 40,000 buckaroos. That could have been in my wife and I's pocket. I still paid it because I wanted to get the money out because that's my business plan. I run my business plan, I get my money out, I take that money, I go buy more deals. So to me, it was worth it because the money we made was exponentially higher than that 40,000. But if I would have picked the right lender going in, because see, they didn't like the BRRRR strategy. They said, hey, Tony, we thought you were gonna just hold this for 5 years and kind of term it out. Term it out meaning they gave me a 5-year term, let that debt expire and then maybe refinance at that time. I said, no, look at my value. I bought it, the NOI was like 50 or 60,000. My NOI today is 125K. Like Jerry Maguire, I said, show me the money. I've done the work, show me the money. So they're like, nope, we're not gonna refinance it. Thank you very much, is what it is. So I went to my trusty lender, Financial Plus Credit Union. Thank you, Nate. Thank you, Financial Plus out of Flint, Michigan. Love you guys, and we love doing business with you guys. We keep a large deposit relationship with them. We keep a significant amount of cash with them. So I called him up and said, Nate, will you do the deal? He said, you know what, Tony? We're gonna do that deal for you. So we did that. So man, have good lenders, work with lenders, and when you buy a deal, all back to buying it right there, make sure you talk to the lender about the business plan. If you're a BRRRR investor like us, BRRRR, right? Come on, BRRRR, that's what we want to do. If you're a BRRRR investor like us, make sure you sell your lender on that. Say, hey, I'm gonna fix it up. I'm gonna rehab it. I'm gonna rent it out. And they should ask you these questions, but they don't always do because you submit a business plan to them. And say, I'm gonna refinance it. If I come to you in 12 months, can you refinance this? Will you refinance this? Do you like that type of deals? See, Financial Plus, they're like, we like those types of deals. I didn't even have a full year of a tax return done. Obviously, it's 2024, right? It's November. How could I have my 2024 taxes done? They're like, we're good, Tony. Give us a T12, a trailing 12 profit and loss statement. Have your CPA bless it, and we're going to roll with that. And that's what we did. So had I picked the right lender to begin with, I could have saved myself $40,000. But what do we say? You got to learn before you earn sometimes, right? So that was I don't know if I'd call it a mistake, but it was definitely a learning lesson, right? But that's why I teach my lessons to you guys, so you don't have to make a $40,000 mistake. If I would have stuck with the same lender, they waive their prepayment penalty, right? So if you refinance with the lender who did the inception loan with you, the starting loan with you, they're not charging you a prepayment fee. It's usually only when you sell it or refinance with another lender. So learn from that mistake. So that's the BRRRR strategy breakdown there. Again, we've done this 5 times. One last part too. People say, but it's debt. The money you took, Tony, and because the money that we receive is tax-free. And people go, well, how is it tax-free? Because you're going to have to pay It's debt. It's debt. So it's tax-free income to me. So when I go to sell this property, and I put those proceeds in a 1031 exchange, I don't pay tax on that. Now, if I were to sell the property and take the money out, I pay tax on that. That's a capital gains triggering event, right? But when you refinance, you're increasing the debt on the property. Now, I don't pay the debt back. You don't pay the debt back. If you do it right, the property pays the debt back, and they won't let you refinance. That's another big misconception. So I love YouTube because I can actually teach you guys. It's not Instagram where it's 10 seconds. When you refinance a property, you have to create a business plan and show the new debt you're taking on. It's still cash flows. They will not let you refinance if it doesn't cash flow with the new debt. So I'm not paying this new debt back. Yes, the money we received is debt from the property, but I don't pay it back. The tenants pay it back. The property pays it back. That's the way to do it. Remember, you cannot save your way to wealth in an inflationary society. $1,000 today, a year from now, has significantly less buying power. $1,000 today will get you less in purchase, in acquisition than a year from now. Look at 1990s, right? What could you get with $1,000 versus today? That's inflation. But assets that go up with inflation, which is real estate, right? That other people pay for, other people pay your debts with, is the way to wealth, okay? So that's the BRRRR strategy. If you guys have any questions with this, let me know. Kind of just want to do a raw breakdown there. Questions for me, questions about the BRRRR strategy. Do you want to do this? Comment below. Hey, if you've made it this far, leave a meaningful comment. Do you want to do this? Or what's the challenge? What's the struggle? What's the obstacle? What's stopping you from doing this? Drop it below. If you need anything from us, reach out at Stephan Group Real Estate Brokers. We're here to serve you. Grab all my free stuff. I got a free book, New Rules to Financial Freedom. Grab that. I've got a full masterclass where I go way more in depth on all this. Click the link below for that. Until next time, we'll talk soon. Thanks.